Peace, everybody. This is a breaking news. Minneapolis police officer charged with murder in George Floyd case. Yeah, so the officer, Derek Chauvin, has been arrested and charged with murder, third-degree murder on George Floyd's case after he had put a lot of pressure on George Floyd's neck with his knee, and George Floyd kept telling him, I can't breathe, and that his neck was hurting, his back was hurting, everything was hurting. So the officer who did this have been charged with murder. And as you can see here is in this picture is the aftermath of the Minneapolis, what's left of it, because they burned the police station yesterday, as you can see here. A Minneapolis police officer who pinned an unarmed black man with a knee to the throat before the man died has been arrested and charged with murder. A prosecutor said on Friday, after 3 nights of violent protests in the Midwestern city sparked by the death. Yes, so the prosecutors, excuse me, the officer has been charged with murder with the knee to the throat before the man died, has been arrested and charged with murder, a prosecutor said on Friday. So the prosecutor said this today after 3 nights of violent protests in the Midwestern city sparked by the death. So this officer is now in jail and charged with murder, but there's still got to be a trial to come. So when that comes, I'm definitely going to cover this trial. And if this ex-police officer even thinks of getting away with murder, people are definitely going to be in an uproar over this officer walking out with murder. Derek Chauvin, the officer who is seen on a bystander's cell phone video kneeling on George Floyd's neck on Monday before he died, has been charged with third-degree murder. Mike Freeman, Hennepin County attorney, told a news briefing. Yes, so he's been charged with third-degree murder. So that is very, very serious murder, because the cell phone of the bystanders tells all. Anytime the police are harassing you or whatever, record them immediately, because the cell phone tells all. So the officer's name is Derek Chauvin. Of course, he's from the Minneapolis Police Department. And he was fired Tuesday. Today, he's been arrested and charged with third-degree murder. He is in custody and has been charged with murder, Freeman said of Chauvin, who is white. We have evidence. We have the citizens' video, the horrible, horrific, terrible thing we've seen over and over again. Yes, so the police Freeman said they had the citizens' video, the horrible, horrific, terrible thing we've seen over and over again. So they went through all the evidence of the cell phone that a bystander was recording on. They're going to use that as evidence. I know that much in court. I don't know how many other people have the same recording, but I do believe they probably did hand it over to the police as well. But the guy in the store did the wrong thing by calling the police, saying, "Oh, there's a man here who's making a forgery." That was a big mistake that they did to this man, George Floyd. And this officer had no right to put his knee on George Floyd whatsoever. Freeman said a detailed complaint would be available later on Friday, so hopefully there's more details that will come out today, and I will keep you up to date on this. But in the meantime, I'm glad the cell phone video has proven what the officer has done. The cell phone footage showed Floyd repeatedly moaning and gasping while he pleaded to Chauvin, kneeling on his neck, "Please, I can't breathe." After several minutes, Floyd gradually grows quiet and ceases to move. Yes, so he kept telling the officer, "I can't breathe." And this is before he died. And after that, he gradually grows quiet and ceases to move. So the cell phone footage did show Floyd repeatedly moaning and gasping. So now this time the officer is in jail right now. I know people are outraged about the other three they want in jail as well. Earlier on Monday, Minnesota Governor Tim Walz called for an end to the violent protests that have rocked Minnesota and said the state's National Guard would work to restore order following 3 nights of arson, looting, and vandalism. Yeah, so the National Guard, they're going to help clean up Minneapolis, the inner city of Minneapolis, take out all, tear everything down and clean it up and clean up all the mess, including, I don't know what they're going to do with the police station, probably tear it down as well. I don't know. But Tim Walz called for an end to the violent protests that have rocked Minneapolis and said the state's National Guard would work to restore order. So they're going to help restore order in Minneapolis by cleaning up and everything else, because everything's a mess right there right now. Windows broken, places of employment burned to the ground, everything except for the laundromat. Lucky that was still standing, so it at least that did not get burned. But other than that, this officer is now in jail and charged with murder. I don't know when his court date will be, but I will keep an eye on this one and bring everything to you when the details do come out, because this officer should have never done what he has done to George Floyd at all. So now he has been charged with 3rd-degree murder. Leave your comments below. I am out.